Hey guys, it's Mike, another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Today we're going to take on the Forbidden Dungeon and see if we can beat it. So I was able to press on all the way to floor 100. We're going to talk about some of the challenging floors that I can remember, and then kind of go through the teams that I did to get through them. So piggybacking off my last video with Sergius and Morgan, the team that I was running through the entire battle all the way up to stage 91. Why is it so glitchy? I want 91. Why is it doing this? so silly. All right, there we go. Through stage 91, the team I was running was right here. So I had Nika as a lead for a little bit of extra durability, Cormac as my damage dealer, and then Morgan and Sergius going with that combo that we talked about yesterday or on Friday. So this was basically all I needed to get all the way to floor 91. On floor 92, you have that group of Kaliks, and the team that I ran was essentially the same thing, except I swapped out Cormac for Merlin. And then this did take a few runs to get the RNG where Merlin was landing his freeze ability, because if any of the Kaliks are not frozen or root bound or stunned or sleeping or whatever, when you kill any of the other Kaliks, they get revived by the one that's not frozen. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. But on this guy here, I only have one ticket, so we're not going to go all the way through it, but I'll show you how this team worked and what we were hoping to do. So we jumped in here. It was a full auto team. I put on auto and I just had to go several times. This was the setup. We had Merlin running his A3. You could probably actually drop Nika down to her A1 because they don't really do a lot of damage until you kill one of them. So we could probably go this route and see how this went and go from there. But see, you get your freezes coming across here, so we would try to kill this guy quickly. The problem with this team is I don't really have any damage on this team. Merlin, Morgan, and Nika all do AoE damage, so it really is not super effective in that space. But with Sergius and Morgan preventing them from getting excess turns, Merlin's going to have a chance to land his A3 multiple times each time. So even though I think it's a 40% chance, or maybe it books up from there, he can get these guys frozen for a long period of time, and then you just tickle them to death while they're frozen, and eventually you get there. But it did take me a few times to get through it, and I did time out. I think that was the issue. I kept timing out because the run took so long, because if one of these guys gets unfrozen, I happen to kill the other, then it revives and you got to go all the way through their health all again. So that was a little bit of a struggle. But outside of that slight adjustment to this team specifically, all the way through floor 91 is this exact same team, except we got Cormac instead of Merlin. So we're going to jump out of here. We're going to forfeit that because I do want to beat floor 100 today. I'm not sure if I can do it, to be honest with you. I've tried several things already. None of them have worked. It is Podarge, but she has a different affinity, so it makes it pretty tough. As we jumped, after we beat floor 92, I think floor 93, we rolled right through with our standard team with Cormac there. And you could replace Cormac with any damage dealer, and I think you could replace Nika with any healer, although Nika doing damage on her heal is a big win, so that does help out quite a bit. But this team just rolled right through here. It just takes a little bit of time because Cormac is basically all of your damage for the team, or whoever your DPS is in right there. So that team worked out pretty good. If we come out of there, I think I rolled through the next few levels. Let me see if I can find the level that I got hung up on again. I had to switch it up. Yeah, once I got through Kalik, I went back through my normal team with Cormac and rolled through 93 all the way through 96. 97 was a little bit challenging, and this one the mechanics are a little weird, where if we come into, I just want to make sure I don't hit auto clear and then I lose my one ticket. If we come into this team here, the problem is when you run this team, two of these guys are immune to damage. So you can go through and you can wreck this guy right over here and he'll take all the damage, but these guys do not take any damage at all. So the only thing I could figure out to work with them, I was trying to strip buffs, but there's really not anybody that would do that, at least that I could find. So from there, what I was trying to do is dot damage. So the main boss here is immune to dot damage until this person is dead. So you're really kind of doing single target dot damage. So the solution there for me was Rosier. So I came out here and I just swapped Cormac for Rosier and took care of it that way and went right through. So if we go back into the floor 97 here, and we just swapped out Cormac and we put in Rosier. Now I do have her Flame Relic, so that is important for the dot damage. You could probably get away doing like Lancelot or some AoE dot damage, because you would be able to put dots on the on this guy over here at the same time, but you do want to focus your attention right here until this guy is dead. So what you're going to find here is once he's dead, and then you can start landing dots up here. But the Sergius Morgan combo is going to prevent them from really getting a whole lot of turns. So you could probably actually, again, I think I actually probably still have Nika's skill drop to her A1, because she's going to do a small heal on the person with the lowest HP every time she does an A1. But if you get to a point where you're starting to get a lot of people down, you might bring back her A3, so she's doing that bigger heal for everybody. But this should kind of roll through, and then once you get this guy dead, then you're going to focus Rosier on the main boss or this guy over here. And so as you start stacking up these dot damages, this guy might actually be immune to dots now I'm thinking about it. But let's see here if we can see what's going on. Yeah, we got the defense down, so we're kind of just relying on Rosier to do damage to this guy. I'm not sure. I thought she landed the dots when we did it last time, but he might be immune to dot damage. So you're just plowing through him. And then once you get through this guy, then you start rolling you kind of spread Rosier out between these two and start stacking dots up on them, but they don't really get turns. Rosier Chivalry 8 is going to be pretty important here, because she can keep those dots adding turns to those dots so that they don't fall off, and then they can do a lot more damage because they're going to be stacking up over time. Although with Morgan and Sergius combo, they really don't get a lot of turns, so they won't fall off all that frequently anyway. But once you kind of get that going, you just kind of move through them all, and then you can work your way through it. But that was a little bit of a hiccup there, trying to figure out how to actually bring these guys down, because they are immune to damage. All right, so bring you back in here. So this guy's about to go down here, which will now allow me to land dots on the main guy. So we're going to switch over here. As we get further into this, like, they haven't got a single turn yet. Obviously, the dot damage won't work until they actually take a turn. Why is this guy not landing dots? Maybe I got to go over here. So silly me, I had my Rosier stuck on her A1. I didn't notice. I think that's why she wasn't landing dots on this guy here. But here you go. You got some bleeds going on over here. Now we can come over to the main boss and put some bleeds on him. But at the end of the battle, what you're going to do is you're actually going to move Morgan from her A2 to her A1. So that these guys actually get a turn. But you want to wait until you stack up quite a few dots. I think you do time out over here. It has a ticker of your time at 10 minutes. I think you time out around 16 or 17 minutes. So maybe around that 13, 14 minute mark is where you want to start pulling Morgan away from her ability. But you can see the dots that we're stacking up on these characters, and she is in a corrosion set as well. So when she lands the dot, she adds an additional dot, and then she does have I forget what it's called, where she does the AoE dot sometimes too. I think she got a 20 or 30% chance of doing that. But she is maxed out for me, so this is where Rosier really does some work. So you can see all these dots stacked up over here. I'm going to move over here and stack up some dots on this guy, and then from there I would take Morgan down to her A1, and then she'll be sleeping the enemies, which will keep them from actually doing damage. When I drop her to her A1, I could probably move Nika back to her A3 just to make sure the damage, if we take any, is getting healed up. But yeah, you can see we're going to lose on a timeout here, probably right around the 14-15 minute mark. So you got to kind of keep your eye on that. Now, to keep that in mind, I wasn't doing dots on that first character, so it took me forever to get through that first guy because I was stuck on Rosier's A1, so that was just silly. But that is how that level went for me. So we did get through it. It just took a little bit of finagling. But ultimately, it's the same exact team. I just threw in Rosier instead of Cormac. And then after that, we were back to the main team for 98.99, and now we're on to Podarge in level 100. The struggle I'm having here is the Podarge being Frost is really hurting me because this entire team is Flame. So my best healer is flame, and then the manipulation of turn meters flame. So everybody is negative affinity to Podarge. Now this team would work out a lot better in Podarge's dungeon, where I think she's Storm. And she does a lot of work against your Frost folks. So maybe pulling in a Bedivere here is kind of an interesting thought, or a Cormac. The struggle here too for Vigor is I'm running my A3 for Nika, and that's going to be required because I need those heals to come in. I'm running my A2 here and then my A3 for Sergius. So really the person I bring in here, I really need them to do their A2 for damage. So Lancelot could be a good choice typically for Podarge, but he's negative affinity here. He still could do some work with that AoE, with the AoE dots, with the burns. But if we brought in like a Bedivere, he can run his A2 and be my damage dealer, and then I'm never going to miss out on a heal or a boost of turn meter. So that we're going to give this a shot and just see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We might have to get kind of creative with this. There is an interesting mechanic here, I believe. We actually got the defense down over here, so we're going to attack this guy. So this initial charge, I think, is a one-hit. Podarge is just going to kill one of your allies, which is kind of rough and is pretty RNG based. So there goes my Morgan. Morgan's down and out. Now I'm just looking to do damage on this guy here. And unfortunately, the matchup here for my damage dealer is bad with the Storm versus Frost. But eventually, if I kill one of these guys, I believe Morgan comes back. And then if somebody else dies along the way when I kill the second one, that person will come back. So I think when you kill these guys, it does revive, at least based on a video I saw, but it was actually several months ago. So that may be something that has changed since then. But I haven't been able to actually kill one of these guys yet, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm skeptical this is going to work. Ultimately, Nika's just got to keep her heals coming in strong. And then keeping them topped off. But I think once she charges the first time, that's like an instant kill. But after that, the damage is relatively okay. But ideally, I'd want Storm on these folks, which obviously his Flame Relic is the only thing that works for him, so he would fall out. But if I had a positive affinity team, I think that could be a benefit in getting through this. But you can see I probably should be able to top off healing here. If I had Morgan bringing their turn meter down, that would be obviously a big win. But with Sergius speeding my team up, I should be able to get some heals in here. But now Nika's down, and this is looking like it's falling apart. So I think I'm going to have to move away from my Morgan and Sergius combo just because they are both negative affinity for what's going on here. Nika is my best healer, but she's also negative affinity. So I'm thinking I might pull in Turin here and see if I can get a little bit better durability out of her. This could be a good spot for Irit. I'm trying to think here. So we're in Frost. I'm thinking we probably pull in Anya. I'm kind of thinking potentially we do a Nika and Turin combo and make ourselves super tanky. And then maybe we try Lancelot and Anya. I forgot that Turin and Anya have a chemistry feature where she says, "Don't forget your place, slave," and she says, "I won't." Well, she's in the second position, Anya, so you're going to have to fall in line. But something like this could potentially work out. If this gets close, I do have a lot of headway to level up these guys here to get a little more durability out of them. Potentially, I could actually bring in Rosier with her Storm Relic. It's a little bit leveled up. Just so I'm positive affinity. So that actually could be a good win there instead of Lancelot. So I don't have it maxed out, but it could be something that works. So let's give this a shot and just see what happens. We're going to jump in here and see mostly about running it on auto, but let's see how this is going to go. With two healers, it's a little less necessary for me to make sure I hit my A3 every time, but that's probably why I was dying. Nika was doing her A1. That's so silly, so silly. All right. I don't know that team really had merit otherwise, though, but we're going to go with this. So for Rosier, she's going to attack all enemies 2 times total damage and 50% chance for the last hit to inflict bleed, and then she does have the corrosion set on. So she could start stacking bleeds, and it is an AoE dot damage. And then with Anya here, she just does a lot of damage with that A3, plus she puts up the initial counter strike. Hopefully the initial attack kills either Turin or Nika. would be ideal, and that way I have my damage available. But we'll see how this goes. So we're going to go into here. On this, we've got 3 folks, so we're going to try to get, we don't have any defense down though, so that's going to be a pretty big struggle trying to get through some of these guys with no defense down. So we did lose, who did we lose? We lost Rosier. So the other part here that's a little bit tough is we're going to get some of these dots on us, on our teammates. So having Vivian convert those into heals over time could be a big win. But again, I have her Flame Relic, and so she is super soft, as we saw in the previous video, even with the gear that I put on her. I don't know how much better I could actually make her in order to get through this. But right now, Nika's heals need to come in a lot stronger than what's happening here. There we go, with turns going on there. So hopefully we can get through these guys and bring back our Rosier. That would be a huge win. But this is looking a little bit sad, actually. I don't know that I have enough damage, and without Rosier's AoE dot damage, that's going to be a little rough. We might actually restart this, run it back, and see if we can get better RNG where Turin or Nika die. But without the defense down, like, we're not doing a lot of damage to these guys, and they do have a heal mechanic on them as well. Like, he just topped himself off with 16,000 heal. So that's going to be pretty rough. But if we can, oh, we just lost Nika. If we can get through one of them, ideally we get all 4 of our champions back, and then we'd be able to get through the other one and start moving on to Podarge. So we are going to, we did fail. All of our people died. Nika actually went out first, which is to be expected, being negative affinity. But obviously her build is significantly better than Turin's, so it tells you the benefit of having the positive affinity on your champions here. I wanted to try it again and see if Rosier doesn't die, if that happens to get us through or get us closer to getting through one of these guys, because I think that could be a big win if we go. I'm hoping Turin or Nika die. I mean, Anya wasn't really doing she was doing okay damage, but she wasn't really killing it for us. We lost Rosier again. Let's go ahead and see if we can get better RNG. I do find a little bit of this frustrating. I think that good content should not require RNG to work. So I think, like, once you understand the mechanics of the boss or of the battle, as long as you have, she keeps taking out Rosier. I wonder if she always takes out the person with like the highest attack power or something like that. When you're trying to get these kind of RNG things to work for you, it's kind of, it's more frustrating than it is fun. Like, even for the Khalik level, it was like, I just need Merlin to land his freeze, but I know what I'm supposed to do. It's just a matter of it actually getting lucky enough to do it. Those kind of things I personally find to be a little less fun and more kind of annoying. But I do appreciate a boss that has, you know, challenging mechanics that you have to figure out and kind of strategize and work through. All right, so we're completely abandoning the positive affinity idea. We're going to go straight for speed. I know we can't affect Podarge's turn meter, but the adds we can. And so with this team, with Lancelot in the lead doing the AoE burn, plus Morgan and Sergius rolling through, the only damage we really have to worry about is Podarge, and then we're going to get extra heals because of how much we're rolling through our abilities on Nika. So even though we're negative affinity across the board, I think this team is probably going to do pretty well, and then we'll see how it goes. But this is pretty challenging trying to figure out a team that's going to get through that. So we're actually positive affinity to the Storm, so this is going to be our best chance of defeating, is getting through him quickly. And then we're neutral affinity here. On Podarge, unfortunately, we're negative affinity, but I think if we can get the 2 adds down, the rest of it should work. So we're stacking up some burns already. Even on Podarge, you see our damage is coming in. Lancelot's doing some work for us. We haven't taken, Morgan's out again. We haven't really taken any damage. I do have Lancelot. Oh, I don't even have him in a corrosion set because I don't have him 6-star awakened. So that would be a way to build him up. I think his relic's only on level 40. So I have some opportunities here to do Lancelot a little better. But Nika is able to keep us topped off for speed. If we take a peek at what we're got on the skills here, we're doing the A3, A2, A2, A1, or excuse me, A3, A1, A2, A1, and then 3, 3, and 1, 1. So that's the go there. Unfortunately, everybody right now is trying to land their A3, so they're going to be fighting for that vigor, which is probably not ideal. We'd want our healer to be able to heal all the time, but if she is running her A1, she's at least going to be healing the person with the lowest HP. and we are kind of lapping the enemy a little bit with Sergius speeding us up. So we should be getting enough heals to kind of stay alive. But more importantly, we're stacking up some debuffs and some burns, which is working out. We're rolling through his life here, which is awesome. It might be a her, I can't tell. It's really small. Long hair, we're gonna go with her. They're all hers. I think they're all sirens actually, so they probably are ladies. So that makes sense. But so we burned her out and we did get Morgan back. So that is a huge win right there. We got our whole team back. So now Morgan's going to be taking turn meter down. We shouldn't have to battle through this person anymore. Hopefully this charge doesn't instantly kill somebody again, because that's a little bit brutal. But we are stacking up those burns on Padarj there. That's going to be a big win. We're already taking away some of that health, which is awesome. That did not kill everybody, so we just need Nika to come back in and heal everybody. Which is going to be good. We got the defense down here, so we're going to do a little more damage. Although realistic, I think most of the damage is actually coming from dots. So it's probably not really a huge benefit. But I mean, Morgan's hitting, Nika's hitting. People are smacking a little bit. On Lancelot's A3, he does do damage as well. So hopefully we're going to move through. I'm trying to look at the time up here and see, as we did time out around 14 minutes, so we're actually doing okay so far, but we do have a lot of ground to make up on Padarj. But once we get through this ad, I think we'll move through Padarj a little quicker, because we'll start getting that defense down on Padarj herself. So this team seems to have some merit, which is kind of funny because it's completely the wrong affinity. But they are the best, all my best players, except for Lancelot, which I've been working a lot on him, because he really is a great champion. He's just been sitting on the back burner for a while, unfortunately. So I had to step up quite a bit of his gear, and then I did also work on some awakening, so I could get an orb on him and speed him up and stuff like that. So I think that was really helpful. But I think this team might just do it. So we're going to keep plugging away here. We're about to bring down that last ad. Now it's just us against Padarj. We already got defense down on. So that's going to be pretty good. How's our time looking here? I'd be pretty bummed out if we get timed out. We're only at 9 minutes. I think we're going to be okay, hopefully. And every time she charges up, I get nervous, because she does have that one-hit ability, and it might be something that she does when she's by herself. She actually takes somebody out again. I haven't been this deep yet, so nope, no big deal. So the last variable we have is once we get her past half health, what her attacks change to, because a lot of times when we get to that point, you get that one big attack and it might just kill everybody, which would be very unfortunate. I don't know if I'd have an answer for that if we got to that point, but we'd keep trying, because I really want to beat this. But we're back in. She's charging up again, so again, I'm not sure what her attack's going to be, because we are past halfway. We're doing some serious damage now. It's kind of ticking away. I think we're going to be okay on time. It's just a matter of what happens after this charged attack. I did get that Selector 6-star legendary piece of gear. That came out of Forbidden Dungeon. I wasn't sure where I got it. I recently got a ring as well, so that's how I know it came out of there. And then those burns came in and killed her before she could do the big attack. So we were stacking those up. We got huge memory stones. We beat it. That is awesome. So that is a huge win. So that's kind of weird. I would have not thought that going completely negative affinity would be the way to go, but it seemed to work really well. And we did get 10 tickets for hard mode, so we might as well jump over there and see what's going on in hard mode. So we come on over here, we click on hard, everything turns gold. Hopefully the rewards pick up pretty good. I could always use gold, that'd be awesome. We're going to start with our standard team and just see how it goes. We're going to bring Nika in for her durability there, Morgan, Sergius, and Cormac, because these smacks, we're going to bring them on in. You could actually replace Cormac with Bedivere and use his A2 so that you're not fighting for vigor. That could be a good way to go. But so far, this team right here has got me through everything else, so I don't know why it wouldn't get me through this. But you can see already these folks are getting turns, so they are significantly faster than what I'm used to. They might be, I'm not sure if their turn meter, yeah, no, we're affecting turn meter, so sometimes they're immune to turn meter. But, oh, why is Morgan doing her A3? Oh! It didn't set any of my abilities because it's brand new. So let's do this. Let's get this all dialed in. This is silly. No wonder it didn't work. Okay. and we'll forfeit and we'll come back in. All right, let's give this an honest go now that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is like you're not paying attention, stuff happens. So they are still faster, like Morgan's effect. They could have a higher effect resistance as well, where she's just not landing. Maybe my effect accuracy is not higher than their resistance. But that turn meter manipulation here is not working quite as effectively. But I am still getting about 2 turns for every one of theirs so far. So I think that should be enough for me to stay topped off with health and just kind of slowly pick them apart. But they are doing a little bit of damage here too. We need Nika to come in and get some heals going. We got some counterattacks going here as well, which is going to do some damage for me. But I think we're going to be okay. We should be able to get through this. I'm hoping. We do have the whole season. I literally have used all the tickets for progress. I haven't done any of the tickets for the normal mode that to repeat a battle. So we've done all the tickets for progress. So we are here as fast as we can get here, which is pretty exciting. Although I think if you beat normal mode last time, you probably start with hard mode tickets, but I don't know that that's true because this is the first season that I've got here. So that's kind of interesting. But we should be able to get through this. We're whittling them away there, and all of our health is okay as I say that. And Nika's about to die right here, so she better come in with her A3. There we go, get some health up here. So I'll bring you back in. It did get pretty scary in there for a minute. I think we are going to pull it out, but the speeds in here have definitely picked up. The difficulties definitely picked up. So for this team to maintain its effectiveness, I'm going to have to speed my Morgan up. I'm going to have to speed my Sergius up quite a bit. And then I think it will probably be smooth sailing once I add maybe 20 or 30 speed to each of them. I think that would probably get me rolling through these a little bit more efficiently, getting those extra heals for Nika before we're taking damage. But, you know, I mean, it's all a work in progress. This is my first time getting into hard mode. But on level 1 here, I can see I'm already struggling. So it's going to be pretty cool to be able to start working to build my team even better. And try to catch up with some of these end game players. Bring you back in at the end here. We are negative affinity for our damage dealer, so that is kind of slowing us down a little bit as far as what's going on in that space. But we should get through this without a problem. We're down to 1 guy. Although we might start getting timed out here. Turn 97. How many turns do we get? That'd be pretty unfortunate. You'd be this close and then get timed out. But I have been horsing around with my camera and getting stuff dialed in, so I think I've resolved the choppiness problem. Although I say that and you're probably chopping right now. Unfortunately, I don't find out until I start editing, so the video's already recorded, which is kind of a bummer. But we did get through it. All right, perfect. So I have 9 more tickets to get through there, so we can kind of press on in that space. But let's take a peek at what we have in the item bag and see what kind of goodies we got to go through today. All right, let's jump out over into the item bag. So this was another big thing I picked up from the Forbidden Dungeon. I forget which level it was. It might have been 97. And we get a legendary flame relic. At first I thought it was a selector flame relic. I was really excited, but unfortunately it's not. It's just going to be a summon, but we'll see who we get here. In the flame side of things, I'm trying to remember who. I'd be interested to get Anya's flame relic because I do have her frost and her storm. I think her storm is her best, but I think the flame is a close second, and depending on the situation, it could be best based on affinity and whatnot. But we'll see. We got Merlin's flame, so that we do already have Merlin's flame, so that is duplicate for us, but that is a great pickup. It has some healing abilities and some other stuff going on that, so that's pretty fun. I do wish there was a way to kind of take advantage of duplicate relics, but I guess we could sell them in and then we can buy them in the shard shop. We are stacking up those rewards kind of quickly, so I might actually start buying everything that I don't have as it comes through the shard shop. And it seems to me a lot of folks are saying like some of the best ones, like Morgan's Storm Relic and stuff like that, don't ever make their way through the shard shop. So holding on to those. But I think as long as I have 52,000 waiting just in case something like that happened, you know, then I can go ahead and buy all the stuff I don't have and start stacking it up. But we are going to go into here. Look at all this stuff we get. We got some rubies. That's good. Always like rubies. Seeing how I spend 5,000 when I'm not supposed to, having extras is always a good thing. I was debating actually picking up another one of those ruby packs that I got yesterday or Friday with the 10 pack of each of the relics. But I'm not sure that I'm going to do it, and we still have time on it, so I'm going to sit tight for now. This here was the ring for the 6-star piece that we got before, and it's actually an accessory, so it can be the ring, it can be earrings, it can be anything, but you get to select it. So we're going to definitely go to the Vigor set here. I'm trying to think here. It really just depends on what the main stat is, but I think we're going to go with the ring. Hope for recovery or attack speed. Recovery would be great for a healer. Attack speed would be great for Morgan, as I'm trying to get her attack speed up. So hopefully we get something that's decent here. And we got HP percent. So that's not the worst. That's definitely not the worst. HP percent could be something that I could use for a non-healer that I need to be durable. So that could be pretty good there, but typically attack speed would be the way you'd want to go that direction, but it just kind of depends on the champion. But 6-star legendary piece on the account, we'll take it all day long. It is so hard to get good legendary equipment, or not even legendary, but just good 6-star equipment on the account. We do have a chivalry we can add to our team, so let's take a peek and see who we want to add chivalry to. So my first stop was always Morgan, as far as if there's upgrades to be had. As we move to Morgan, on her 5th chivalry, we did pick up attack speed 20. From there, we're going to pick up attack, which isn't a huge win. Defense and HP, again, not a huge win. I mean, all stats are good, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be game-changing. When we get over here, the suspended animation is not something that I really have taken advantage of, or at least that I'm aware of, but you do extra damage, I think, at the beginning of the fight. And then on her 9th chivalry, we get another 15 speed, which would be pretty good. But I do think at where she's at right now, she is functioning for everything that I need her to do. So I don't think chivalry on her right now is the priority. If we move over to Anya, on her 5th chivalry, we're going to get crit rate, which would be huge, as well as HP, which would be pretty good as well. But we're not getting any advantages in any of her abilities. For Bedivere here, additional skill effect for Veteran's Valor and 100% chance to charge Vigor by 2 would be pretty good there. When using skill 3 while inflicted with a debuff, 100% chance to convert the debuff into crit damage increase lasting 3 turns. That's actually pretty good, but I rarely use skill 3. Usually when I'm using Bedivere, I'm using his A2 because I need his vigor to stay lower, although it would charge the vigor by 2. So I think that's definitely a contender. Sergius, I don't think we need to really put a lot because I can just buy those as they come up. So I'm not. Nika is the other one that I'm really focused on right now, because if you can get her all the way to Chivalry 8, she is just a monster. She is completely OP. But the recovery 10% would be a big win. That would help her heals be a little more dramatic, and it would get me closer to this 3rd, where the additional skill effect of Spirit Art Blessing, 100% independent chance to grant Spirit Parade to each ally except yourself for 2 turns, and that's going to be natural vigor charge +1. So saying natural vigor charge, I wonder if that negates a vigor set. So if you have a vigor set, you're still just going to get +2. Or if that actually adds to a vigor set, then you get +3. I don't think that's how it works. I think it's going to be your natural vigor increase +1. But then it would negate the team that she's running with needing a vigor set, which would be kind of cool. So I'd say her 2nd chivalry is definitely a contender as well. So take a peek at Lancelot. We are on chivalry level 3. Moving towards chivalry level 4, additional skill effect for Knight of the Lakes challenge, 100% chance to increase the duration of dot on the target by 1% or by 1 turn. Knight of the Lake is his passive 3. When attacking while weather is rain, 100% chance to inflict dot taken increase on the selected target for 3 turns, and then he would be adding the duration of dot. So he'd be increasing the duration of all the dots or just 1 dot? 100% chance to increase the duration of dot on the target by 1 turn. That's vague. If that's increasing all the dots, like what's her name? Rosier's Chivalry 8, that would be huge. If it's just increasing 1 dot by that, it'd probably be less big. But I really want to get him 6-star and start working on him. But I'm going to say Chivalry level 3 is probably decent. This would be good on Chivalry level 5. Look at all that. But that is a good chivalry to get for him, but I don't know that I need it right now. The other person I'm looking to really build is Iwarit, and the reason for that is I have all 3 of her relics, and she does some serious damage. I think all of her relics are good. So that would be a way of me having a damage dealer that would work across the board for any affinity. Unfortunately, her Chivalry 2 is not really that great, but as we move into the Chivalry 3 and 4 is pretty good. I thought there was something else that she had. I guess Chivalry level 3 is where it's at here. But we eventually getting all the way here to Chivalry 8 is pretty overpowered. So that is a benefit there. But I am going to say that based on what's going on right now on my account, I use Nika in almost every single team. An extra 10% recovery is going to be good, and getting her closer and closer to the Chivalry 8, we're going to go that direction. Might not be the right move, but it's the one we're going to move forward with. So we're going to grab that, pledge these over to Nika. We're on to Chivalry level 2 for Nika. She's not in the summoning pool yet, so I can't summon her outside of these guys here. Is really the only way to upgrade her so far. But she was a champion. I think she was the first champion I actually got to pull for. When I started, Saris was the upgrade. Saris and Bedivere were the 2 banner champions, but I didn't have any upgraded summons, so I didn't pull for them. But when Nika came around, I did have 60, and I was fortunate enough to get her. That was back when it was 50-50, so that was pretty good. And then Charlotte I also picked up after that. She was less exciting, but I do think her kit, being unique as it is, could at some point be pretty beneficial. But I think that's about what I got for you today. I appreciate you guys hanging with me all the way to the end. We did get through Forbidden Dungeon for the first time on normal, so it's pretty exciting. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.